Good evening, hockey fans. Welcome back to the Neutral Zone on Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We are going back to school tonight. It is a heavy college hockey show on tap for you. We have a new champion crowned in the women's side. We have the men's bracket put together on the men's side. We've got some very familiar faces. We have some that we haven't seen for a while. We have some that we haven't seen at all before at this stage of college hockey. Who are we going to see, though, in St. Louis in a couple of weeks? We will break it down. We will set it up. We will discuss. We will debate. We will go through all of it. But we're not ignoring the NHL game. Oh, no. We've got an eyeball on that game between Washington and Winnipeg. Might that be a Stanley Cup final preview? We'll discuss that. Plus all sorts of our usual craziness on tap. It is a full hour of hockey. So sit down, strap it in, get yourself ready. This is the Neutral Zone. Let's go. Good evening, one. Good evening, all, and welcome back into the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Adam and Zach back with you, ready to talk some hockey. How are you doing, Zach? And apparently Zach may have, we see him, but we may not be hearing him. How are you doing, Zach? Oh, he may not be hearing us. That's all right. We'll get that straightened up and taken care of for you. We got a lot on tap for the show here tonight. Lots to be getting through. We're going to be spending a lot of time in the world of college hockey tonight. Lots to be getting through. We have a new champion in the women's game, and we've got a field set up in the men's tournament as well. We got lots to get through. We are going to be having a ton of fun here on the show. Also keeping an eye, though, on the men's game as well as we always do in the NHL. Going to be keeping our eyes on the pros tonight as well. A lot to get through tonight. But before we go anywhere, a quick word from our sponsors, and then we will get you caught up on all the games going on in the NHL tonight. This is the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this. IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back on into the neutral zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Adam and Zach back with you here. Lots to get into in the show here tonight. Lots to be doing. Glad that you are here with us. A big shout out and thank you again to each one of our sponsors: Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, Vital Apparel, Seal the Deal Wax Seals, and also Raw Nutrition Supplements. Go to getrawnutrition.com. Use the promo code IESR to get 10% off of your order. This show is also available for you on social media. You can follow along with us on Twitter. We are at IESR Neutral Zone. I am at Adam_Karnick. Zach is at the Pupless. And for everybody that is watching live tonight across YouTube or Twitter or Twitch, hop on into the chat room. We can have some fun and interact there as well. Taryn Rodriguez says, good evening, guys. Have an amazing show. And Larry B is here also, though we'll get into his comment here in just a moment. Zach, How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm fantastic, Adam. How are you?
There we go. All right. Now we got the audio things figured, the audio bugs sorted, and we are up and running. So we're going to be focusing a lot on the college game here tonight, but we do always like to start the show off with the scores from the current NHL games that are going on. We've got some big ones going on tonight as we're nearing the end of the regular season. Zach, you want to get us caught up on everything going on in the hockey league?
Yes, sir. We got Sabres and Senators. Sabres lead that 3-2 in the third. Maple Leafs and Flyers. Maple Leafs are blowing them out 6-2 with 12 minutes and a half good to go in the third. Penguins and Lightning. Lightning lead that 6-0. 16 minutes left to go in the third. Hurricanes and Predators. Predators lead at 2-1. 9 minutes to go in the third. Canadians and Blues. Blues are leading 3-1. 12 minutes to go in the second. Golden Knights lead the Wild. Oh, they just scored. It was 1-0. Now it's 2-0 with 10:33 left in the second. Capitals and Jets, the one that we were talking about earlier. OV watch and a possible Stanley Cup preview, perhaps. 1-1 with 12 and a half minutes left to go in the second. My Red Wings and the Avalanche are tied 0-0 with 15:40 left to go in the first. Looks like that just started a couple minutes ago. And lastly, we got Kraken and Flames tied at 0. Started just a couple minutes ago as well. And Kings and Rangers, those don't start till 10:30.
That's out in Los Angeles. Yeah, I would expect the Kings have been playing some white hot hockey as of late, so wouldn't be surprised if the Kings do well there. Larry hopping into the chat room. Yeah, the Lightning are absolutely have been dominant as of late. And then the poor Flyers. I mean, they're giving up 6 tonight. They gave up 7 to the Blackhawks over the weekend. The Flyers really are just struggling all in all. Oh, good evening as well to Brian Franchione. Good evening, guys. Tomorrow, and as he is discussing all things Boston, he will be covering the Bruins woes, but then also going to be talking Boston College and Boston University and Bentley as well. Big hockey East recap. So be sure to check that out tomorrow night. Here on IE Sports Radio. We're going to be getting into all 3 of those schools here a little bit later on in our show, as well as we're doing a lot of college hockey tonight. Larry commenting in the chat room, touchdown Blackhawks. Yeah. And to make it even better, Chicago Bears new head coach Ben Johnson was in the building as the Blackhawks scored 7 goals against the Flyers. So, the first of many touchdowns that Ben Johnson gets to witness. Hopefully, that's what we're hoping for. Anyway, that's what we're hoping for. Not to close the loop off permanently on the NHL, but we are on Ovechkin watch. You said it was 1-1. Has Ovechkin scored a goal in that game, or is he still 9 away?
It's 1-1. Let me check here. And we're loading.
While Zach's pulling that up, Larry having some fun in the chat. Yeah, the Blackhawks showed Ben Johnson how to score a touchdown in the game. Yeah. I mean, Ben Johnson, I think he knows pretty well how to score touchdowns at this point. It just, does Chicago know what one looks like? That's the better question. That's always the better question. So while you're getting that pulled up, we will get ready to make our transition down into the college ranks. So we teased it a little bit at the end of last week's show. We made our quick predictions on the women's Frozen Four. I don't think either one of us really came close at all. We were wanting to shake things up with our predictions. That's what I'm going to go with. We didn't want to have the same final that we'd had for the 3rd year in a row. That's going to be my story, and I'm going to stick with it for now. as we wound up in the women's Frozen Four, in the women's NCAA championship in Minnesota, it wound up being Wisconsin versus Ohio State, round 3. But what a round 3 it was. Ohio State was just 19 seconds away from victory before a covered puck resulted in a Kirsten Sims penalty shot, drove down, put a wicked move on. If you have not seen it, just go check out our Twitter feed at IESR Neutral Zone. We shared the video of it. It was an impressive move, to say the least, and winds up beating Amanda Thiel, ties the game at 3 apiece with just 19 seconds left. To make it even worse, if you're an Ohio State fan, Wisconsin was on the penalty kill at the time, having to play a man down in that situation, and you wind up with a penalty shot, ties the game, forces overtime, and then the penalty shot, Larry pointing it out, the penalty shot resulted in the biggest argument ever on the IE Sports Radio TikTok account. As where are you on the penalty shot, Zach? The controversy, of course, was, did Sims stop? Because on a penalty shot, of course, you cannot come to a complete stop. Did Sims come to a stop, or did she just put on a really good move?
I think she's just a really good actor and put on a really good move.
That's where I'm at with it too. She never came to a stop. She absolutely changed direction. But that's fine. That's all fine and good and dandy. I got no problems with that. But yeah, that to me, oh my goodness, apparently the argument is still apparently the arguments are still going on over on the TikTok page. They are still 2 days later still going on about it.
Oh my God.
But if you're Ohio State, that's demoralizing. You are 19 seconds away from winning the championship for the second time in 3 years. And as you put it in our little pre-show meeting, it would have been this was the rubber match between the two schools. They've split the last 2. And instead, you've now got to go to overtime. And then in overtime, and Brian's excited because all the TikTok argument just keeps traction going on it. Absolutely. Keep it going. In social media, there's very little bad press with social media. But yeah, for the Buckeyes, absolutely just heartbreaking for the Buckeyes to lose that way. But then Kirsten Sims gets the winner in overtime as well. An excellent rebound and just buried the opportunity. And so then we get to say it for the second time in 3 years. It's on Wisconsin. The Badgers win the title. A heck of a season for the Badgers too. And they win their 8th national championship. That is most all time in the women's game. Extends their own record. 38 wins in the regular season. That's a school record for wins in a season. Only 1 regulation loss for the Badgers in the course of the entire season. Just an just an impressive season for the Wisconsin Badgers on the women's side.
That's incredible.
So job very well done by the Wisconsin Badgers, by the Lady Badgers. Job very well done. Congratulations. What do you think? Will they be do you think they'll be able to repeat next year as well?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they're keep chugging along at the same rate they're going, and they've been playing each other the last 3 years now. And their tournament, I noticed, only has 11 teams. Is that, like the hockey one, it's 16 teams out of, however many teams play hockey. But are there really only 11 teams that play women's hockey total?
I have to do a little bit of digging in that. It is not every school that appears in the tournament. I know that, but how the bracket is put together, that I have to do a little bit more digging. I think we talked about that a couple of years ago. I think we talked about how their tournament is smaller. It actually, if I remember right, it actually grew to 11 here in the relatively recent future. But yeah, it is a smaller tournament. It is one of the smaller tournaments there.
Yeah. Side note, Ovechkin has not scored yet.
Well, I mean, he is going up against Hellebuck. I suppose that's allowed to, I suppose it's allowed for one night, but then we got to get some more goals there from Ovechkin somehow. We got to get some more there. Well, before we go there, let's take for ourselves a quick break. And then on the flip side, we have had the men's bracket revealed. We know who the 16 schools are that will be competing in the men's hockey tournament here starting on Thursday. We will break down the bracket. We will make some predictions. We will talk some men's college hockey here on the other side. This is the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, Wisconsin sports fans? I'm Dan, diehard Baholic, host of the Wisconsin Whistle. Check us out every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. We're talking Green Bay Packers, Milwaukee Brewers, Milwaukee Bucks, Marquette basketball, Wisconsin football and basketball, and all Wisconsin sports. Don't miss us each week, Wednesdays, 6 p.m. on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey, Cleveland and Columbus sports fans. This is Jen D, host of the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in live to the Show of the Land on Tuesdays, where we will cover the Cleveland Browns, Cavs, Guardians, and Monsters. We will also talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets, Crew, Fury, and of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll also cover other colleges in the area like Akron, Kent State, Cleveland State, Mount Union, John Carroll, Baldwin Wallace, Youngstown State, among others. So like I said, if you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, Be sure to tune in Tuesdays to the Show of the Land with Jen B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back into the neutral zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Adam and Zach back with you. So we broke down the Wisconsin-Ohio State championship out in the first part of the show. Now, as we're doing our heavy-duty college hockey show tonight, getting into the postseason for college, we are going to transition over to the men's Frozen Four bracket and their tournament. So we've got the 16 schools. We know who is where. We know how it's all set up and shaping up. Now let's dive into and let's dissect this bracket a little bit, shall we, Zach? What do you say?
Sure. Can I have one last point about Ohio State and how they got their heart ripped out not once but twice?
As someone that lives in Big Ten country and is not a fan of Ohio State, you never need to ask permission to rip out a Buckeye's heart.
Good.
Sorry, Jen.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I was watching the Big Ten final, and we were up 3-1, and I'm like, okay, all we got to do is just this last period. We just got to close it out. Almost there, and then all hell breaks loose at Ohio State. Bink, 3-2. Bink, 3-3, and one of those goals ricocheted off the backboard, went back to the goalie, and the guy tipped it in off the goalie's skate. I'm like, are you serious? Like, what are the odds? So it's 3-3, and I'm like, are you kidding me? We had the lead. We went and blew it, and now it's the end of the game. And of course, we go to overtime, and nothing happens, and it just keeps going and going. My heart is just pounding the entire time. And it even goes to a second overtime. And then finally we score the winner. And it's 4-3 MIU. And I think it was Isaac Howard, one of the best prospects. Got. And I was so relieved. Oh my gosh, this game will not freaking end. But I swear, if we blow this, I'm going to be so mad. But
Instead, we wind up with the Spartans winning the Big Ten title over Ohio State, and all feels well in Big Ten country, doesn't it?
Yep. Right.
Indeed.
Right. Regular season and tournament title 2 years in a row. And again, it was one of these, if they win, I swear, like, they already won football this year. It's like, come on, guys, leave something for somebody else, please. Like,
Exactly.
oh.
Exactly. Larry's having some fun in the chat room. He's enjoying the somewhat gratuitous shots that are occurring. He's enjoying that. So let's dive into this men's bracket, shall we? So we've got our four regions: Manchester, Allentown, Fargo, and Toledo are the four regions.
Yes.
The number one overall seed in the tournament, Boston College. Number 2, Michigan State. Number 3, Maine, and then number 4, Western Michigan are the four 1 seeds in each region. Rounding out the field, we've got We've got Minnesota State, Penn State, Minnesota, Massachusetts, Boston University, Ohio State, Quinnipiac, Denver, Providence, Penn State, UConn, and Bentley. So we've got some new blood in this tournament this year. That's some of the interesting talk as we get into this, is that we've got UConn and Bentley as first timers in this tournament. You know, for Bentley especially, it's, hey, exciting, congratulations, way to go, guys. You get Boston College.
Well, that's very much like a 16 seed. Hey, great, you made the tournament. Now you get to get destroyed by Duke.
Exactly. I mean that's literally what it is. Yes, is Bentley is the 16th and final team in the tournament, winning the hockey. Of course I had it up and now I don't have it up. Hockey East. I lost my conferences.
Bentley, Atlantic.
Yes, Atlantic. Thank you. Winning the Atlantic Conference for the first time ever, and not expected to do so. And so it's, well, here you go. Come on in. You're getting the toughest draw you could possibly get for this one. Larry Green, that's just mean to do to Bentley. Brian then Brian is really torn. The two closest college hockey teams for him are playing each other. He's walking distance from their arenas, so his loyalties are being divided here as well. But yeah, for Bentley, Larry's not wrong. That is kind of mean to just, way to go, welcome into the tournament. Don't get too comfortable.
Well, I mean, that's up until a couple years ago. That's how it was for basketball too. I mean, you got the small seeded schools, the low majors, whatever, winning their tournaments, and again, they have to go play the Dukes and the Alabamas and Gonzaga and Baylor and Auburn this year, like. But but now we've had it happen twice now that the smaller schools have beaten the number one seeds. I don't know how relevant that is for hockey, but
it's a conversation worth having. But at the same time, though, and that actually kind of segues into my next point a little bit. Before we dive into the regions themselves, I did just want to say, I like how they determine the seeding for this too. It is, you have your 6 conferences, you win the conference you're in, 10 at-large bids, and it is literally, it is the rankings. It is the pairwise rankings, and it's boom, 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 boom. We eliminate all the other schools that didn't qualify for the tournament, and the number 1 school is the number Michigan. 1 seed. Sorry, Michigan. And the number 16 school is the number 16 seed. And that's just how it goes. You don't have committees, and you don't have debates, and you don't have, their net was 15, but we really think they're really more like a 2 seed, or their net ranking was a 75, but oh man, you can't have a tournament without North Carolina. Therefore, they've got to be in. No, here are the schools, and the ranking is what it is. Boom, boom, boom. You're lined up. Away you go. There's no thinking about this. I like that. I appreciate that. Though if you're a Bentley fan, it does mean you wind up with the toughest draw possible for your opening round. So let's dive into it then.
Right.
Looking at these regions, what jumps out at you? Let's start with the toughest. What region jumps out to you as the toughest as we get ready for this tournament?
Oh man. Well, the one I got pulled up right now actually looks pretty tough. The Manchester. So you got number 1 Boston College. You got number 3 Denver, who wound up winning last year. It's Denver's 34th appearance, including 15 of the last 16. They've been in the Frozen Four 18 times and won 10 national titles, the most ever. And yeah, Denver beat BC for the national championship last season, their second title in 3 years. What else? The Maine regional, or the regional with Maine in it, the Allentown regional.
Allentown.
They've got Quinnipiac. What's that?
Yeah, the Allentown region. Yep.
Yeah, they got Quinnipiac. It's their 11th appearance, including the last 6 tournaments. They've been in the Frozen Four 3 times, won 1 national title. They were the champs 2 years ago, if you remember. So they are in that region, along with Maine, the Hockey East champion, who actually, we thought it was going to be one of the Boston schools that won that conference tournament, but no, Maine came out of there instead. Maine's 21st NCAA appearance. Black Bears have been to the Frozen Four 11 times and have won 2 national titles, the last in 99. Last season was their first NCAAs since 2012, so it's been a while. For them, but I'd say that might be maybe the 3rd strongest. The state one looks pretty hefty too, with Boston U and MSU in it, the Toledo regional. So I'd say I'll go with that one. I'll go that one 2. I'll go with Boston College's regional number 1, the Michigan State regional 2, the Quinnipiac 3, and I guess the Western and Minnesota won 4. It's got Minnesota and Minnesota State. Wow.
Yeah.
And I was surprised when you said Western was a 1 seed. I was like, wait, what? Hang on, I had to go double check that.
Yeah, Western Michigan is a 1 seed. Yeah, I would agree that Manchester region, it feels very much like you're going to have Boston College versus Denver as the regional final. That was the national title game a year ago.
Yeah.
And one of those schools isn't even going to make it to the Frozen Four this year. That's hard to me, that region. This could be your argument for this is where you maybe would want human eyeballs to look it over and not just do a pure rankings setup, because it does feel a little wrong to have Boston College and Denver in the same region, because then I almost feel like whomever comes out of the Manchester region is going to be at a disadvantage, because you're going to have to survive that slugfest that is going to be Boston College. We're assuming, but let's face it. No, we've been over this already. No offense, Bentley, but I don't see that. I don't see that one happening. And Providence versus Denver. Nothing against the Friars, but Denver, that would be my expectation there. So I would say whatever comes out of whichever school comes out of the Manchester region, it's a good thing that there's going to be some extra time between the regional final and the Frozen Four, because they're going to need it to rest up and recover. That's going to be a dogfight.
No kidding. Yeah. You can look at it one of 2 ways. So yeah, either it's going to be a slugfest, or at the same time, it could be crucible. They went through hell just in the region and getting to the regional final, that maybe everything else from there is just going to be a cakewalk. Who knows?
You only adapted the darkness. I was born in it.
Right.
Molded by it. I can't do Bane very well.
Yes, your armory so gratefully accepted.
Yeah, something like that. It turns into Sean Connery after a while. All right, so Zach,
Yeah.
you already hinted at it a little bit there. You said you felt the Fargo region was going to be the easiest of the four. You felt on the flip side.
Yeah. 1 sec. I want to make sure I got everybody's teams and everybody's regionals and everything.
Oh, sure,
But
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, you talked about Providence. In my head, you were saying no offense to Bentley and Providence, and in my head, I'm like, Providence has a hockey team.
Yep, they do. They
But
do.
apparently they've been to the Frozen Four 5 times, and they won the Natty 10 years ago. I had no idea.
Yep. Yeah, they've had some success. They've had some success, but yeah, it's you know, not the first thing you think of though. So certainly
Yeah.
not the first school that leaps to mind when you say college hockey.
Yeah, you definitely think northern schools, but you definitely think of the Minnesotas and the Boston colleges and Boston U and definitely Denver in that same breath too, and
And
maybe some of the Big Ten ones.
North Dakota leaps to mind for me, which by the by, they have a head coaching vacancy now in North Dakota. So that's going to
Oh
be
dang!
a big job to fill. As noticed that North Dakota is not in this list of 16
Oh yeah,
schools that made it. So definitely some
North
expectations were not met there.
North Dakota or North Dakota State.
North Dakota.
Okay,
North Dakota
gotcha.
has a head coaching vacancy. So you say you felt. Oh, go ahead.
Yep, I'm gonna lead into what you're gonna lead into it too. I think.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Manchester 1. Let's go Toledo 2 with MSU and Boston U. Plus you got Ohio State, and that was a hell of a game. I mean, for as long as it lasted, I was just wow. And Ohio State's previous game prior to that to get to the final was against Penn State, and that went into overtime as well. So they are very, very tenacious, very tooth and nail, and so we've got Cornell, so they've got Boston U. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they could beat Boston U, but they'll probably give it a good run for their money at least. Ohio State's 12th NCAA appearance, second in 3 years. They've been to the Frozen Four twice. Most recently back in 2018, and they've never won the national title. Wow. Yeah, the only they're like the Lakeshore in our area. Like that's the only sport they've never won the national title, huh? Well, every other sport then. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Just,
Yeah.
Just
the
football
one.
and basketball and gymnastics and rowing and
everything else, but not this one. They have a weakness. Kind of.
Exactly, yeah. Fargo. Wow. My last choices are Fargo and Allentown. Let's go Fargo next. And let's go Allentown fourth. What are your thoughts?
Okay. First of all, you're absolutely right. I think you're absolutely right that the Manchester and Toledo regions, man, those are stacked. We talked about Manchester and the Toledo region. All right, Cornell. Okay, yes, Cornell's the 15 seed in here, but that Boston U Ohio State game, that should be an excellent game. And I'll get into it a little bit. I don't necessarily want to spoil everything, but the winner of the Toledo region you're going to feel pretty strong about them too. That's not necessarily going to be a cakewalk into the Frozen Four out of that region. For me,
right.
with Allentown and Fargo, and first of all, you've got in Allentown, you've got UConn, the other school that this is their first appearance in the tournament. So not necessarily sure what to expect from the Huskies. Will it be Will it be that they don't know what they don't know, and so therefore they're able to, just perform without any stress? Or is it going to be you get under the bright lights and it's well, this is clearly up a notch. We haven't done that. We haven't done this before. And UConn's getting Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac's not as strong as it has been in years past, but this isn't anything new for them. This is absolutely, they're used to this. They've played in this pressure cooker before. They know what to expect and how to expect it. Then you've got over in Fargo. This is the Fargo region, to me, is the region where I think we're most likely to see an upset would be over here. Western Michigan is the 1 seed. This is just the 12th time that Western has appeared in this tournament. Western has exactly 1 victory all time in this tournament.
You're right.
If they beat Minnesota State, they've doubled their career victories in the NCAA tournament, in the NCAA hockey tournament. So Western is the highest scoring team in men's college hockey. And so that, that absolutely counts for something. We talk about that all the time with the Edmonton Oilers, where we dare you to keep up with us.
Right.
We're more than happy to get into a track. Sure, you'll get 3 or 4 goals. We're going to get 6 or 7. Try to keep up. Kind of a similar thing there with Western. But a lot of time you get into these tournaments and the goals don't come like they did in the regular season. And can you play a little bit more nuanced of a game? And Western just doesn't have some of its pedigree, until they do it, you can't see them doing it, kind of a thing. So to me, that Fargo region, that to me is the one where I think we're most likely to see an upset of some kind.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that, their offense does definitely help being able to score all the goals for Western, but okay, but what about your defense? Defense travels, and like you said, at some point your offense is going to run out, and are you going to be able to withstand those droughts?
Exactly.
Going back to UConn, it's their first, like you said, a first appearance. They're 17 years in Division I at the Division I level. They set a school record for wins this year in Division I. I think they had 22 wins in their coach's 11th season.
Yeah, so they've been building their way up to this. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They've been building their way up.
That was the other thing I was going to say. I just remembered. You're absolutely right. Are they, hey, guys, let's pretend like we've been here before, even though we haven't. Or are the bright lights too big for them? Or they, who knows? Or maybe they channel their inner Dan Hurley and they go on a run. Who knows?
Oh, they just start screaming and ranting and raving and throwing chairs. Oh, I'm all for that. Oh, that's entertainment. All right.
I went to a hockey game and a wrestling match broke out.
I don't know how that happened, but I'm here for it. Here we go. We go. All right, so let's take. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just got to give credit to Penn State real quick because, they've only had a program. Probably 10, 11 years now. They were the linchpin that were allowed the Big Ten to create the Big Ten Conference in hockey, because they had to have at least 6 teams. And so what they wound up doing was they pulled the teams from the WCHA and the CCHA plus Penn State to get them that 6th team to make the league, and then Notre Dame wound up joining them. And so for them, like I said, they've only had a program for like 10 years. This says it's already their 5th NCAA appearance. In 23, they lost to the regional, or they lost to Michigan in the regional finals in overtime. Again, so limited history, 10 years or so, but they've been 5 of the 10 years. So that's half, flip a coin. They'll make the tournament, it sounds like. But they've only, with that limited history, they've only never been to the Frozen Four at all.
Yep.
But I just got to give them credit for, as far as, in such a limited history, they've done a lot, it looks like. They've
been very, very fast risers. Absolutely. Yeah. The Nittany Lions program there has been very fast. Well, let's take one more quick break. And then on the flip side, we're going to each present who we think our Frozen Four will be, and then who we think is going to win the national title. For those of you watching live here across YouTube or Twitter or Twitch, hop into the comments. Let us know who you think is going to be appearing in the Frozen Four, who's going to win each of the regions, and we will debate that and predict that here on the flip side. This is the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, Pittsburgh? This is Ralph Galise, the host of the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Are you that passionate diehard Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, or just a Pittsburgh sports fan? Then please join me on the Injury Report every Tuesday on IE Sports Radio, the direct feed for all that is sports, and I will update you on all that's black and gold. Have you telling your Pittsburgh fans and friends what's up with Pittsburgh sports. Tune in Tuesday with me, Ralph Galise, the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go!
What's up, New York? This is Ricky K coming at you with the NY State of Sports, a new show here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Listen to me every Thursday afternoon as we bring you the latest takes on the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Plus, you get some college hoops and what's the local sports events going on in the area. It's a state that never sleeps, so why not get the opinions and sports takes that never sleep? Again, every Thursday, 2 p.m. to the NY State of Sports. We'll see you then.
Welcome back out into the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Adam and Zach back with you here for just a couple more minutes. So we broke down the men's Frozen Four bracket for you during that last segment. Now, of course, the most fun part, and the part that's sure to be 100% accurate and, absolutely zero chance of anything possibly getting turned away. This is the part where my wife would remind everybody that if you decide to gamble based on what you hear us say, that's on you, not on us. We are only responsible for your winnings, not your losses.
Right.
All right, Zach, lay it on me. Who do you have making the Frozen Four? Who's winning each of the regions? And who do you ultimately see making it to the title? And who wins it all this year?
Do we even have to ask? I mean, come on.
I know the one. If you're a regular listener to this show, you've probably got a little bit of an idea who he's going to pick as the eventual champion.
Well, okay, Frozen Four. Boston College out of the Manchester region. I've got Maine out of Allentown. I'm with you. I'm picking the upset in Fargo. I'm going Minnesota State. And, of course, Michigan State out of Toledo.
Yeah.
So,
boy, what a shocker out of Toledo.
I know. I got MSU and Boston College in the final, and fingers crossed that MSU wins.
So 2 1 seeds enter, 1 seed leaves victorious for you.
What's that? I'm sorry.
2 1 seeds enter into the title ring, and 1 leaves victorious for you.
Exactly. And are you not entertained?
Exactly. Are you not entertained? Absolutely. Absolutely. And Larry B
All right, what about you?
Larry B is joining into the chat room. He says he's got Sparty winning it as well, and he also has Boston College being the runner-up as well. So Larry B is in agreement with you there. My
Nice.
Frozen Four, Boston College and Michigan State will start there. I have both of them winning their regions. I just don't see them losing. I do think that Denver gives Boston College a heck of a fight there in the Manchester region, but I do think Boston College comes out victorious this go around. Well, I'll take Sparty as well over in the Toledo region. I'll actually divert from chalk there, though. In the Allentown region, I'm going to take Penn State. I think the Nittany Lions, they've shown some tenacity, they've shown some grit. I think they pull off the upset and beat Maine, and then I think they'll be strong enough to beat either UConn or Quinnipiac, whomever they wind up getting. And then out of Fargo, I will take Minnesota rather than Minnesota State. I'll go with the Golden Gophers. So I'll take so it'll be Boston College, Minnesota, Penn State, Michigan State meeting up, and then it's chalk. It's not necessarily fun, but I absolutely. Yeah. Oh, Larry thought I was going to say Bentley. Larry thought I was going to pick Bentley to pick. No, I am not picking Bentley. I am not going that far. I am going to have Boston College.
Only if Adam gets an NIL deal from Bentley, then he'll pick Bentley.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. There's got to be something lined up there to make that prediction worth my time. I'm going to take Boston College and Michigan State appearing in the championship game. And like you and like Larry, I am going to go with Michigan State winning the title. I think the Spartans, I think this is their year. I think they've got the play in net. You know, they've got one of the best young netminders in the game right now. Not that Boston College necessarily has any slouches there in net as well, but I think Michigan State in a very good competitive game. I wouldn't be surprised if we wind up in overtime down there for the championship game, April 12th, but I will predict Michigan State over Boston College in the men's national championship.
Well, exactly. You talked about handling the pressure, and that's what one of these team previews said on ESPN, the quote I gave you about Trey Augustine. You know, he's already proved he can handle the pressure, and not just in college. He played for the World Juniors where stakes in the spotlight are massive. Augustine's cool under fire, quick laterally, and doesn't give up many second chances. When he's locked in, he gives the Spartans the confidence to push offensively, knowing that he's a wall in the back.
He's a draft prospect for the Red Wings, right?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll have to look it up.
I think
I know Isaac
that's,
Howard is. I think he's the draft prospect for the Lightning.
Okay. Yeah, and Larry chiming into the chat. You know, the Spartans, they're just
really
so talented.
Good offensive players.
Yeah. Yep. Which of course, all this they're just so talented. You know, the Spartans, They're just so talented.
Thank you.
Which all this leads, of course, to we're gonna wind up with Quinnipiac versus Minnesota State or something like that, just to throw us all off and be the title game we never saw coming. Which, hey, those are fun too. You know, with a relatively small tournament like this, 16 teams as opposed to 68 in the basketball tournament. You know, it doesn't take much to really upset the apple cart in a tournament like this, and you wind up with some really interesting, entertaining fields and just some fun stories and some fun hockey. So it'll be great starting this weekend, and then in St. Louis, April 10th and 12th as well.
Well, like you said, Penn State, they have really hot.
Sorry there, Zach. I sounded the horn right over you. What was that about Penn State?
They were really hot to close the season.
Absolutely, yes. Momentum is absolutely a thing, and that can absolutely lead Penn State on. That is going to do it for our show here this evening. Big shout out and thank yous, of course, to each of our sponsors. Planet 50 Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky on a whole other planet. Go to planet50.net to place your order. Vital Apparel, the brand that not only great, but also mental health research. Go to vitalapparel.com and use the promo code IESR for 15% off of your order. Seal the Deal Wax Seals. You know that every time you send out mail, whether it's a bill or something a little bit more fun, just add your own personal stamp and seal of approval to that. Go to iesportsradio.com/seal the deal wax deals to place your orders there. And finally, Raw Nutrition Supplements. Go to getrawnutrition.com. Use the promo code IESR for 10% off of your order. Thank you, brother Larry P, star and overlord of all things IE Sports Radio, for all the hard work you do behind the scenes, sir, which is not going unnoticed. Yours is on a free too. Thank you also for hanging out in the chat room with us tonight, along with Brian Francino and Karen Rodriguez. Really appreciate you guys dropping in and saying hello. Thank you to all the 205 people that are watching the show live across YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. Thank you for your support. Thank you to everybody as well that listens to the show later on as a podcast. Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere you get the podcast, this show is available. Want to show your support? Go to Spreaker.com and join the Supporters Club. Once a month, we put out special content for you, the supporters, with $5 a month. You can then also drop us a line, hit us up on Twitter at IESR. Let us know if there's a topic you want to discuss. We can dive into it and go in depth on that for you. Until then, be the Stack. I am Adam. Together we are the Weekly Zone. We'll be this Tuesday. You